There is a man who walks among us, but he is no longer one of the crowd. He has been on a path of silent discipline, a path of retention, and the changes are beginning to bloom through him, subtle at first, then undeniable. His posture is straightened, as if an invisible thread is pulling his spine toward the sky. His eyes have sharpened, losing their scattered flicker and gaining a focused, penetrating depth. When he enters a room, his presence is heavier, more substantial, as if he's plugged into an ancient power source, long forgotten by the modern world. This is the first sign that the King Code is activating within his DNA. This King Code isn't a crown you wear, but a blueprint that awakens inside you. It's an inner pattern of strength, clarity, decisiveness, and a grounded, unwavering masculinity. It emerges only when a man makes a conscious choice to stop draining his inner fire into fleeting distractions and cheap pleasures. It's the result of redirecting his most potent creative energy, his life force, not outward into the void, but upward into himself. This upward flow is a process of refinement. It clarifies his instincts, sharpens his mind, and awakens a sense of purpose he never knew he was missing. He stops drifting and starts moving with a direction that feels magnetic, pulling him toward his destiny. As this inner architecture strengthens, the world around him begins to shift. People react to him differently. His aura, once porous and undefined, now feels larger, more solid. His boundaries become firm, not through aggression, but through an unspoken certainty. The world seems to instinctively treat him with a newfound respect, as if he has stepped into an authority he doesn't need to announce. It's a silent recognition of the self-mastery he cultivates in private. This transformation is even etched into his face. His eyes carry a new intensity, a quiet fire that communicates both power and presence. His jaw, once tensed with unexpressed anxiety, now rests with a calm resolve. His expressions are more controlled, not because he is hiding his feelings, but because his emotion and his power have fused into one steady, coherent force. He has become the master of his inner world, and his face reflects that sovereignty. Understand this. The King Code is not about seeking dominance over others. It is about achieving absolute mastery over oneself. The discipline required to hold his inner charge, to contain his most powerful energy, builds a throne of sovereignty within his own being. He becomes his own king, ruling the kingdom of his mind, body, and spirit. Each small act of restraint fortifies this invisible kingdom. You see it in the way he wakes before the sun, training his body in solitude. You see it in his unwavering focus at work, immune to the trivial dramas that once derailed him. You see it in the way he calmly ignores the temptations that once held him captive. Each no to impulse is a yes to his own power. Each act of discipline a stone laid in the foundation of his inner citadel. This internal shift changes the very quality of his voice. It deepens, not just in its physical tone, but in its energetic weight. When he speaks, people listen. They ilean in. He doesn't ramble or fill the silence with nervous chatter. He chooses his words with the precision of a man who understands their value and his own. Join our Telegram channel for deeper content. His communication becomes a reflection of his inner state. Calm, deliberate, and impactful. Every word lands with purpose because it is backed by the full force of his contained energy. Metaphorically, his aura begins to form like a golden crown, but one forged not from metal, but from discipline, patience, and silent intensity. His spine straightens, as if remembering the posture of an ancient lineage of honorable men. His eyes hold the quiet weight of a throne he has even yet claimed but feels destined to occupy. He doesn't chase or seek validation. He doesn't argue over pointless matters or try to impress anyone. His actions become his statement. His presence is his argument. His integrity is his proof. A pressure begins to build within him, but it's not the chaotic pressure of anxiety. It is a refined, directed strength, a quiet electricity that radiates from his core. People feel Italiano. They can't name it, they can't explain it, but they sense a certain charge in the air around him, a calm potency that is both compelling and formidable. Contrast this with the man he once was. Before this journey, he felt scattered, reactive, a leaf blown about by the winds of impulse and external validation. He was easily pulled into drama, easily swayed by desire, constantly seeking something outside himself to feel whole. Now, he stands centered, sovereign, unshakable. He has become the oak tree, rooted deep in the earth of his own self-control, unmoved by the passing storms. This transformation revolutionizes his relationships. People find themselves trusting him more deeply, respecting his boundaries without question. Some are drawn to his calm authority, seeing it as a source of stability and strength. Others, those who thrive on chaos and weakness, feel challenged by his presence. His very being becomes a mirror, reflecting back to people their own level of self-mastery, or lack thereof. He no longer participates in dynamics that drain him. He simply stands in his own power, and the world rearranges itself around him. With this newfound internal stability comes an unparalleled mental clarity. His goals stop shifting with his moods. His vision for his life sharpens into a high-definition picture. He becomes a man who moves with a deep, intrinsic purpose, no longer drifting through his days, but striding toward a future he is actively creating. Every step is deliberate, every decision aligned with his highest values. This process is more than just a psychological hack. It feels like the activation of something ancient within his very biology. It's an energetic signature passed down through generations of disciplined men, leaders, builders, and sages who understood that true power comes not from what you release, but from what you hold. They carried themselves with an honor and self-control that commanded respect. And this code, this blueprint, lies dormant in every man, waiting for the discipline to awaken it. The activation of the King Code reshapes his entire future. He stops tolerating mediocrity in himself and in his life. He stops abandoning his own standards to appease others. He begins to walk like a man who is meant to build something that lasts, whether it's a business, a family, a legacy, or a masterpiece of art. He carries the energy of creation itself, refined and directed by his will. In the end, the aura he carries, this palpable presence, is not something mystical or magical. It is the natural, radiant glow of a man who has chosen mastery over impulse, sovereignty over chaos, discipline over convenience. He has done the hard work of taming his lower nature to unleash his higher self. The King Code is not something you learn from a book or a course. It is awakened from within. Support us through the thanks button to help us keep creating.